Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to HTML5 website design tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a complete static website from scratch. From absolutely nothing, you're going to be able to make everything you could see on the screen now. With a navigation, we have a sidebar over here, we have a main content area, a header up here, and a footer down here. And there's going to be able to go to different links, and everything's going to work great. And then at the very end, I'm going to give you suggestions on where to go next in terms of JavaScript, PHP, mobile design, how to make your websites mobile friendly, and what is the next step from here. So we're going to use everything we've learned so far, HTML and CSS, to make a static website. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, great. So as you can see here, I have my text editor pulled up, and I'm going to do new file. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this as index.html, and it's always good to have your home page named index. I'm going to save it in this little project folder and make sure it's all files. And you could do this with Notepad, Notepad++. I'm using Komodo Edit, which I highly recommend. It's a great editor, and you could use it on Windows, Mac, PC, anything you would like. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to do the doc type, first of all, HTML, and next we're going to do, HTML lang equals en. We're getting all the basics squared away. All right, so now for the head and title. I'm going to name this, let's see, Florida Nurse Practitioner. I'm not a, let's just say Florida Nurses. I'm going to name this, let's just do Florida Nursing Academy for now. That would be good. Okay, so title. Now we're going to set up our encoding meta UTF-8. Okay, great. So far, so good. All right, so I need to link to a style sheet, a CSS custom style sheet. So it's going to be, okay, and I'm going to name it custom.css. I already know that now. So then that's the end of my header. So let's go ahead and do the body. What we're going to do now is a wireframe. So we're going to create a website similar to what you see here with a navigation, a header, a side area, a content area, and a footer. So the first part of making a website, you have your content kind of organized the way you want. Everyone can kind of figure that out. But we have to figure out how to get the general frame of our website first. We got to frame it. It's called wireframing. And some people actually will do this on Photoshop. What they'll do is they have like a big project, and a graphic designer makes what they want in Photoshop, and then they will HTML and CSS, they will make a wireframe of that. But we don't need to do that because I'm just going to make it straight in HTML and CSS. And a lot of the better web developers, that's actually what they do. They just, someone tells them what they want, they write it down on paper or whatever, and they just do it. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so body. All right, I'm going to make a few little comments here. So to make a comment, begin wrapper. Great. So I'm going to have a little div here, and that's going to be our wrapper. So I'm going to have a header as well. We're going to use as many HTML5 elements as we can. So we got a header, got a navigation, div ID equals right column. I'm going to go ahead and write right column in there, and then div ID equals left column. UMN, there we go. Nice. Left column. Okay. And yes, that's how we're going to split it up. The right column is going to be our sidebar. The left column is going to be the main content area. We could use the aside tag, but which is the new HTML5, what is being used, what they recommend using for the side area, but I don't want to use it for this example, just to make things simpler. And footer, which is a new HTML5 tag. So we're using most of them. We got header here, we got nav, we got footer. These are all new HTML5 tags. People used to have just div with an idea footer, but now there's just an actual tag recognized by all major browsers called footer and nav and header. Okay, great. So I think that is our basic wireframe right there. So I'm going to go ahead and make a custom CSS file. File, save as, and save it as all files. And we're going to save it at project, which is my folder name. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the basic CSS done now. Before we do that, what we're going to do is go ahead and preview this. So I have a little shortcut. Komodo has this on their within their text editor, where I could just hit that little world looking thing and it will bring me to whatever internet browser I want, but I'm actually just going to open it up in a fake internet browser in the editor right here, just for the sake of the video. So that's what our website looks like right now. So we're going to set up the wireframe at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and do body and font, family, Arial, and sans serif. Font size 13 pixels. Okay, so that's good for now. Now we're going to get the wrapper set up. Okay, margin 0, auto. Okay, so that's going to set up a margin and width 922 pixels. So that is the stated width for this project. Oops, forgot to put pixels. Okay, great. So we got the wrapper set up. So let's go ahead and save this and see what it looks like so far. Let's see if there's anything different. Yep, there we go. We got the margin. And so from here all the way to somewhere over here is going to be 922 pixels wide, which is just what we want. So it's already looking good so far. So header, we're going to do color. Okay, width equals 900 pixels. Float left, right? Because we want to float the header left, because what's going to be floated right is the aside part. So we're going to padding at 10 pixels, border, do 1 pixel solid. Okay, height of 100 pixels. So that means our banner is going to be 900 pixels wide and 100 pixels tall. You know, I'm actually going to make it the same width as the wrapper. Okay, so margin, we're going to do 10 pixels, 0px. Whoops, I messed up. You guys remember how to do the margin? And background color is going to be F6F0E0. And we're going to close that. So let's go ahead and see what we have now so far. Okay, so it looks like we have 2 errors. So the cool thing about having a nice text editor is it will show me where they are. So this is the first one. As you can see, I put a semicolon instead of a colon. Okay, so that's one error. Okay, that took care of them all. Okay, sweet. So we're going to go ahead and save that, and we're going to preview this. Awesome. So as you can see, we already have the header. That's where the header is going to be. So this is our wireframe. We're framing the website out to begin with. So then we could start working with it and tweaking with it. So nav, we're going to go ahead and start customizing the nav. So float left, because just like the header, we want everything floated left except for the right sidebar, which is going to be floated right. And that's just how that works. And the best way to learn how everything works is by messing around with things like we are now and doing practice examples. Okay, padding 10 pixels, border, 1 pixel solid, 1, 2, 3, margin, 0, 0, 0, 0. And that's just to override any kind of defaults that the browser might have right there. So this is for the nav and background color. We're going to do hashtag F3 F3F2 ED. Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and save this. Look, 2 errors. So I can go ahead and jump, float left. It's supposed to be a colon. Okay, any more? See, it says 0, so that means we're good. So I'm going to command save, open this up, preview, and great. As you can see, we have a little nav bar under here now, which looks awesome. So if you've noticed, it's a little bit shorter. It's because we did 900 wide. We want 922. So we're going to go ahead and save, and there we go. So this little bar, that's where our navigation is going to be, and this is where our header is going to be. Alrighty, so let's continue. So we got the header, the nav. Now we're going to do the right column, which was an ID. So you got to do the # right column. So color is going to be 333. We're going to float right. Float right, because it's going to be on the right side. Border 1 pixel solid. Okay, and background color is going to be CCC 8B3. And we're coloring this right now just because we want to, we could see where everything's going to be. We're going to change all the colors when we actually do the actual styling of the website. So we have the margin. Okay, actually, this is the wrong color. I did the wrong one for this one. So this background color is going to be F6, F0, E0. Okay. Padding 10 pixels. Height 350 pixels. And a width of, I just typed in of, 200 pixels. Okay, and it's going to be floated right. So now we're going to do the left column. But before we do that, let's go ahead and save this and preview what we have so far. Awesome. So as you can see, we have the right column right here. And we'll tweak out this other stuff. You know, everything's a little off right now. But yeah, so let's keep it going. Let's go ahead and do the left right now. Alrighty, so the right column, color, 1, 2, 3, border, 1 pixel, solid, 1, 2, 3. We're going to float this left. Background color is going to be CCC 8B3. Okay, and then we're going to have the same margin, so I'm just going to copy this up here. Just make life easier on us. Okay, and padding going to be 10 pixels. Height of 350 pixels. And a width of 678 pixels. Perfect. And display and line. Awesome. So there's the CSS for that. So we're going to go ahead and save it and view it. Alrighty, so look what we got here so far. We have a left column, a right column, a nav area. You know, I'm going to go ahead and put nav, a little nav area, and then here's our header up here. So all we need is a footer. So we're going to go ahead and, you know, I'm going to change this to 900 and change this to 900. I was getting a little bit ahead of myself. There we go. So there's our good wireframe, because later on we're gonna mess with mess with the widths a little bit more. So awesome. As you can see, we have a fixed width and height for everything so far. And obviously for mobile design, that's not something you're going to want to do. But for static websites, it's good for our purpose. And mobile design is something we're going to get into after this example. Okay, so footer. I mean, there's plenty of websites out there that still have fixed width and height. I think Google said 2 years ago that they're going to start websites that are mobile friendly are going to rank higher on the search results. But some people don't care. You might have a local business or something. They just want to have their hours and everything up online. So all right, so if you notice, I said clear both. So we're clearing all the floats, because the footer is just going to be at the bottom. It's not going to be floated anywhere. So we have the width, color, hashtag 123, border 1 pixel, solid 123. Background color is going to be F3, F2, ED. And we're going to copy all the margins from up here. Boom. Okay, and padding is going to be 10 pixels. All right, great. So let's go ahead and save this and see what it looks like. Perfect. So as you can see, we have a footer down here, left content area, right sidebar, nav bar, and a header. So this is our wireframe. Let's see if I can bring it up a bit. This right here is our wireframe. And obviously, if I wanted everything to be longer, I can make the height longer. It's not an issue. You just literally change some numbers in your CSS file, and it changes all your web pages. So great. So we have our wireframe done. So now let's go ahead and start customizing things a bit further. Alrighty, so now we're going to do the next part, which is the styling and adding all the content the customer gave us. So since this is a little practice site, what I'm going to do is I already found an image online that I like. It's called sample, and there it is. That's what it looks like. So I don't know if this is used on an actual website, and I don't know, this is fair use. I'm just using it for education purposes. This is not going online. So I literally just found this on Google, opened up Photoshop, and I made it the exact width that I want. And you got to make sure you click save for web, and you want the size to be small, so then your website is fast. Because if you have a really high definition picture that's really large in a file size, that could take 10 seconds for your website to even pop up, and you don't want that. So everybody on the internet compromises quality of their pictures just a bit to make sure that everything runs fast, because speed is more important than image quality. Okay, so we're going to add right now some things to our project. So in the header, that's where we're going to put our banner image. And most sites are going to have a banner image. And this is something you'd get from a graphic designer or make on Photoshop yourself. But if you're not really good at it like me, then I don't recommend that. Usually this is going to be already given to you. So I'm going to go ahead and save. It's in the same folder, so I don't have to worry about slashes or folder names or anything. I just put the name of it. It's in the same folder. So we're going to go ahead and view it. And great, so that's what it looks like so far. No problem. We're going to fix everything here in a bit. We're just filling up everything with some information. Okay, and before I want to mention that we want to put another comment right here. End wrapper. And some people will do, like, you see where it says begin wrapper, end wrapper? Some people will do begin header, end header, begin nav, end nav, begin right column, end right column. And that's good practice too. So we could do that if we want, but I don't want to, just to keep things pretty simple. So right here in the nav, we're going to have an unordered list. And if I don't have anything to link to, then you just put a little pound sign in there. And that's a little trick that a lot of web developers do. So the first one, so let me copy this because we're going to have a few different pages. So Command C. And okay, that one's over there for some reason. Get back in the middle. Cool. All right, so this is going to be home and about, contact, and let's say donate. That sounds good. All right, great. So we're going to save that and see what it looks like so far. Okay. Doesn't look too good. That means we need CSS, right? Right. But first we got to fill in some information. So now I'm going to fill in just make up some filler information. So, I'm going to have an H1 tag here. Welcome to Florida or something. I don't even know what this website's really for. It's just something I kind of just making up. But that, you should always know what a website is for. I mean, this is like a healthcare website, I would assume, from the banner that I found. But, it's always good to have the colors matching your audience, banner matching the audience. And all sites should have a theme. And that, that's really up to you. And that's a lot of planning. But we're just doing HTML and CSS. So I'm going to have some filler content here. I'm just going to put sample content in copy and paste over and over again, just to have a little bit of, whoops. I don't want to move this over. It's good to hit enter, enter, enter. Okay, great. And then we're gonna have like an H2 down here, kind of like a subheading. We are always willing to help. And then I might have another paragraph. Command copy. Paragraph or two. Okay, good. That looks good so far for what we got. Now, in the this is the right column. We put all this in. No problem. That's going to be our right column is going to be our sidebar. So you just copy and paste. And to be honest, the left column should be first. That's just good practice. So copy and paste. So then the right column's down here. So let's go ahead and do the right column. In the right column, I want to have something called hours. I want to have the hours of the place. So let's assume this is like a little clinic or something. All right, so table. So we're making a table. And we're going to do it this way so we can customize it to make it look really nice. So th id equals day. So this is going to be the header of the table. All right, so T body. Got another row and TD headers equal day. And if you don't know how to do this, I actually made an entire video on tables, so I recommend watching that. Where we actually did this exact example. So if you're confused about what I'm doing here, it's just a little extra CSS, extra HTML way to style tables. So you have a table header, table body, and a table footer. It just allows you to customize things more, and to, this ID belongs with day. So there's going to be a whole column for day, and this one's for hours. And this is my own ID that I'm making, and then here's the headers, which we're going to customize with CSS. So I recommend watching the example that I have on my previous video if you don't understand. But I assume most people have been following this along, tutorial step by one, or step one by one, video 1, video 2, video 3. So most of you guys probably know what this is. So I'm just going to copy. So we're going to have 7 days. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to fill in this information real quick. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and save this. And in the footer, I'm just gonna put uh, Florida Nurse Association Inc. Something silly, copyright. And for the copyright symbol, all it is an copy semicolon. So we're gonna go ahead and save this and see what we have so far. Command save, preview. So as you can see, there are a lot of problems right now, and that's okay. That's expected. We're gonna fix that with CSS. So the content has the old colors. Let's bring it up a little bit. As the old colors. The banner is really messed up. The nav looks horrible. And this is readable now. It could be a lot better, and this is okay, but it could be a lot better too. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and exit out of this right here. Great. Now it is time for the advanced CSS. Okay, so a way to fix everything that is off kilter, we're going to use the star here, which means all elements. We're going to go, little trick I found out, padding 0, margin 0. And those can be on the same line, honestly. They can be. So we're going to back that up, save, and let's see how this makes it look different. So I think it's a little bit better. If we take it away, oh, this is spelled wrong. There we go, save, and okay. Everything is looking a little bit better. I don't remember if you remember what it used to look like. Alrighty, so for the body, I'm gonna have a background color behind everything instead of white, which is a good practice for a website. So the background color is gonna be B6, B6, B4. I'm gonna save this and let's preview it. So what I did there is everything that's not already has a color stated to it is going to be this little gray right here in the back, which is good, instead of white. If you like white better, you could leave it white. It's totally up to you. All right, so in the header, I'm going to get rid of the padding because the padding is messing up our banner. So as you can see, the padding was messing that up. I'm going to start opening this up in Opera so we can see the difference. Okay, so now that I have this situated, we're going to view this in an Opera tab. This is with the padding. So as you can see, my whole banner image, it has 10 pixels of padding on the top, and it overflows because it has to have that padding. So we got to take that away because that's what's messing us up right now. So what I'm going to do is go to CSS and get rid of the padding. Command save. And if we preview this, whoops, that was the CSS. We don't want to do that. Yeah, now look at the bottom. The padding's gone. And this is in the right spot, which is just what we wanted. Okay, great. So we fixed that. That's one issue that we had to change. Now the height needs to be 175 because that is the size of my picture. Because if we look, if we look at the picture, you could do this on Windows too. You just, it's going to be 922 wide pixels by 175. Okay. So, in order for the whole thing to be in there, we got to change this. Okay. So we're going to save that. Now we're going to go to the nav. And let's see what we need to change in the navigation. Everything looks good so far, but the color is bad. So I'm going to change it to, I have 3 colors written down that are similar to the logo. So we have a little color combination going on. And this is something that like a graphic designer would suggest. So now if we look at the navigation, you could see it has this blue, which is the same color as this ocean in the back, which will make it look a little bit better. Okay, and then now it's time. So I want to show you the big difference we're going to see. So as you can see right now with the navigation, you see how everything's vertical? We want everything in a line with a nice button around it. So we're going to keep this tab so we could look at the before and after. Okay, so after nav, I'm going to customize all unordered lists that are in nav. So list style type none. Okay, so we're going to get rid of that little ball that is in front of the little dot in front of each list item. So now we're going to customize all of the list items in nav to display in line. We want everything to be in a horizontal line, not up and down. So now we're going to customize all links that are in the navigation. So text, none. We don't want it underlined. Margin, right. Go 10 pixels. We want space in between each one, and they're listed from left to right. So after each one, we need a space of 10 pixels. Border, 1 pixel, solid, black. And padding, 5 pixels. Color, I have these colors written down, and you'll see them in a second. E5DB. Background. Color needs to be something different, right? So it shows up well. And I have this one written down as well. It's going to be 0C2F62. Great. And we want to add a border of, I don't know why this solid black one is up here. I actually decided to change it to yellow so it comes up better. And font size 1.5 EM. So let's go ahead and save this and preview it in Opera. Wow, so that is a big difference from what we had before. This is what we had before, and as you can see, it is a lot different than this. So if we hover over these things, we could tell there's something to click on, but it doesn't really give us a good indication that a mouse is over it. So what we're going to do next is fix that problem. And we're going to do that by a little CSS trick. So all links, when they are being hovered over, are going to have a color of the opposite of what the background and text color is for those two respectively. So 0C2F62. So that color is the background color usually, and then the background color usually is going to become the color, but the color usually is going to become the background color. Whoops. So if you notice, like, so right here, color becomes background color. The background color becomes the color. Okay, so color, I'm just going to copy, paste, and we're going to go ahead and preview this. So now when we see it, when we hover over, you see how they change? And that tells the user that, that's, it's just nicer for the user. Okay, so let's go ahead and style those H1 and H2 tags. So the H1, the H1 is going to have a background color of what I picked earlier. And this is really up to you. I mean, in terms of colors, it is not an exact science. There is color psychology, but, people, different colors do go together. Just look at the color wheel. It's nothing too, oftentimes if you're a web developer, they're going to tell you what colors that you need to use. But if you're just making your own website for fun, then I would recommend just Googling color combinations for websites, and you'll see a lot of sites that can give you some good help there. So that's the color I'm going to use, and the background color Whoop, I already did that. And I don't know why I put these here. Okay, so got background color and color. Now we want a little bit of space under each H1. So I'm gonna hit save and preview in Opera. Whoops. So I opened up the CSS file, which is nothing. We want this. So great. As you can see, this H1 says welcome to Florida, and there's a little bit of space underneath. You see how it has a nice background right here? This nice, white looking color. And it's in the same color that the navigation has, that navy blue. And that just looks good. So we're going to go back to our CSS. And our H2 is going to be the same exact thing with a little difference. So the H2 is going to also have a margin top as well of 10 pixels. So we're going to go ahead and save that and preview it. And there we go. See, top and bottom. This one has it just below. So welcome to Florida. We are always willing to help. That looks great. So far, so good. Okay, so for this, I'm going to make the background color white because right now, we just did that grayish color for our wireframe, but I think white looks the best for the content area of websites. So let's go ahead and view this. So yeah, so as you can see behind here, it's now white, which looks nice. And we're going to do the same thing to the left column. Background color, we're going to change it to white. And for like simple colors like purple, blue, white, you could just type in the actual name. And for the footer, we also want to make it white. The text, we want to make the text white because we're going to make the background color that navy looking color. C2F62. There we go. And this is a good practice for the footer to have it, dark and with white text. You can kind of tell that's the bottom. It's dark. It can symbolize the bottom of something. So there we go. So it looks great so far. I mean, that's a lot different than, let's see what we had. I mean, look at that. It's all brown, and that's from our wireframe. Now we have this right here. And that looks great. So now what we're going to do is just fix the sidebar. We're going to customize the sidebar a little bit, the table in there, and we're going to do a few more things. So now we are going to customize the table. So we're going to just type in the element table. Let me get this in the center of the screen. Width of 200 pixels. Margin auto. Caption. Whoops. Caption. Font size 2em. Font weight bold. Table head, it's going to be background color of EAEAA. T body. Whoop, we're not going to change the background color for that one. We're just going to do font family I spelled Arial wrong. Sans serif. And font size is going to be 0.90 em. Nice. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save this and preview what this looks like. And nice. So there we go. We got a nice hour. The hours look a lot better. We could make them bigger. But for now, let's go ahead and make some other pages to link to. So this is really simple. All we're going to do, it's like right now, if I click on the About page, nothing happens. Or the Contact or the Donate. Nothing's happening at all. So the way you do that, I want to copy everything. Everything. Absolutely everything. Copy. Command-C. File. New. File. Paste everything. File. Save as. And we're going to save it in the project. Save it as all files, not a text file. And we're going to name this one. Let's do the About page. About. So it's going to be about.html. Save. Okay, great. So if we go to our index and we go to where it says about right here, you see where it has nothing? If we put about.html, save, then when we click that in our link, it will bring us there. So if we click about, there we go. We're on the About page, but you can't tell because it's the exact same. So let's change the content for the About page. So we'll say about nurse school, with us. Something, goofy like that. And let's just put about nurse. This is going to be our filler content. Okay, great. So this is going to be in a paragraph tag. Command copy. Okay, save. And let's go ahead and change this. This needs to have, it's the active one, so you don't really need that. But this one, to get back to the home page, we need to specify. And we're going to do this for all of them. And a donate page as well. So we're going to copy this whole nav bar, and they're all going to, every single, and then paste it here. Every single page needs to have the same header, nav bar, footer. Just the content is going to change. And maybe the right sidebar on different pages. So we're going to go ahead and save, preview. Okay, so we're here. We go to the About page, and here we go. We're at the About page. If we go to Contact, there's nothing there. See, we get an alert. So let's create a contact page and a donate page. So file, new file. We had to copy everything from About, from the very bottom, or you can copy it from index. Command-C, Command-V. Nice. And we're going to save this as, this one's going to be our contact.html, all files, and we're going to save it in the same folder. Great. Now, this is actually not going to have a bunch of paragraphs and stuff. And let's go ahead and clear the right column. Let's say we don't want the hours on this one. Let's say we want, I don't know. Let's say we just want an advertisement or something. Something silly. I don't know. Obviously, like a lot of times the right sidebar is going to remain the same. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste some code for a form in here. And if you don't know how to do forms, my last video was like an hour long about how to do forms, every type of form in HTML. And I give a lot of explanation as to how everything works with forms. So I recommend checking that out. Okay, so I went ahead and copied some code for a form. There we go. I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to copy some CSS for the form, which I just did, and paste it in here. So as you can see, that's all the CSS for my form. Okay, so now let's go and let's view from index. So here we go. This is our home page. This is our About page. Let me make it bigger for us. Home page, About page. I can go back and forth, nice and easy. What about Contact page? Ooh, there we go. There's the advertisement. It's a little messed up. I'm not sure why. But I probably just hit something in the CSS file by accident. But here's our form. And here's our donate page, which has nothing because we have not created one yet. But as you guys can see, that's how you create pages. And I appreciate you guys watching this series. Yeah, feel free to watch the videos again. That's really the best way to learn HTML and CSS. as of now, we have a functioning website. And if we wanted to get this up on the internet, it's only here locally on my computer, I would have to use some kind of software to transfer it to a web server where people can then access it. So the first thing I would need is a domain name that would be in place of my IP address. So every device connected to the internet has an IP address. Let's say I wanted to make my website called FloridaNursePractitionerNetwork.com. Okay, I make that. I have web server. I have an IP address that's connected online. Everything works. I have a working web server. I would then download something like, FireZilla or some kind of FTP program and follow the directions, and I would transfer my HTML index file, my CSS, my about HTML file, my contact file, and my banner image, everything that is in my project folder. Let's see. Let's move this out of the way. Everything that is in this folder would go. I would transfer all of this stuff into the public HTML file with FTP. It's not hard at all. And I'm going to do another video on how to do that. So then it would be online. Within, 24 hours, anyone can visit, FloridaNursePractitionerNetwork.com, and they could see my website. And I could also update it as much as I want, which is really cool too. So yeah, this is what it looks like. This is what it's like to have a website. So ways to improve this could be, you could mess around with the design as much as you want, change colors. You could just change things. You could make the screen wider. We made about 900 pixels wide. You can make it 1080 wide, or you can make it as wide as the screen could possibly be. That's called a fluid design. But the biggest thing now that this website needs is, one, it's not mobile friendly, so it needs to be mobile friendly. And I recommend using Bootstrap, which is a HTML and CSS framework, to do that. And then also, this website has no, server-side code to it. So in this contact form, if I type in something and hit submit, it doesn't go anywhere. Nothing happens. And then I could also make sure that it only takes emails. If I hit submit, nothing happens. It doesn't go anywhere. So this website could use a database. It could use mobile-friendly design and maybe mess around with some of the other stuff on it. But yeah, other than that, I think it looks pretty good. This is 100% just a sample site. It's not a real website. I don't even know if this banner is used on a real website. I just found it on Google. So, well, thanks to you guys for watching. The next series is going to be about making dynamic websites and mobile-friendly websites. So dynamic meaning I hit something, I type in information, I hit submit, and all the information goes into a database. Okay, that's dynamic. So the website changes. Dynamic can also mean, I scroll at the bottom, or if I have more information here, instead of it going over my footer, the entire website will get bigger. So this footer will just keep going down and the site will get bigger. There's a lot of things that can happen. So, but other than that, I think it looks pretty good. So in the next series, we're going to be going over PHP, JavaScript, Advanced HTML5, Advanced CSS, and MySQL, which is the database that is free, open source.
Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe for future video notifications. Feel free to donate by clicking the PayPal donation link below in the description. Visit our website at freecomputerhelp.net for programming tips, installation guides, and more.